And that's our big focus this evening on the NewsHour special edition. Joining us on the broadcast are my guests. We have Manish Barrier, who is a political analyst, Anurag Naidu, who is a political analyst as well, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, political analyst, Dr. Syed Hafiz, spokesperson of the DMK, Dr. Sumant C. Raman, who is a political analyst as well. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now this evening. Dr. Syed Hafiz, let me begin this debate with you, because the allegation that has come from the BJP is that an artificial issue is being created by DMK, by MK Stalin specifically, because their view is that the census exercise, the work around it hasn't started yet, and hence this is an attempt to take the focus away from the real issues of Tamil Nadu ahead of the assembly elections next year. So what we saw in Chennai today, what we are perhaps going to see in Hyderabad next, is just political posturing and nothing else. How will you like to respond?
Okay. By logic, if Tamil Nadu is going to face election next year, yeah, I understand. Okay, just for an argument's sake, DMK has an election and so we need posturing. What about the rest of the other parties? They are not facing election. Why have they come all the way leaving their job? There are 2 chief ministers, 1 deputy chief minister, in fact 3 chief ministers and 1 deputy chief minister. Are they jobless to come all the way from Punjab to Kerala to Karnataka to Telangana to attend this meet? Are they facing elections in their state? No. This problem is a genuine problem. Now, how can they say that it hasn't started? 26 is not far. We are just 1 year ahead. We are just 1 year lagging. And it is a constitutionally mandated exercise. The delimitation is going to happen. Heena likes it or not, I like it or not, or the BJP likes it or not. It is going to happen in a year's time. So 1 year for such a big issue is actually a very short time. See, we are doing politics with the allegations from the BJP. To end this entire exercise of meeting in Chennai, in Hyderabad, the simple thing that the BJP can do is make the Prime Minister or Home Minister talk in the Parliament about this and say that 7.2% share of parliamentary seats from Tamil Nadu will be retained irrespective of number of seats that are going to be increased or decreased. That is the single demand that Tamil Nadu is having, and all the states who are represented today in the JSC, the simple demand is that on one hand, the Home Minister is not ready to give a commitment in the Parliament, on the floor of the House, which has a legal guarantee. But out of the Parliament, everything is being said. That is not we want. We want a solid commitment from this government on delimitation, that the demand of the states which are going to be affected if the delimitation exercise is going to happen as per the population basis. Okay. This single demand will end everything. But here is the Home Minister, here is the Union government completely mute when it comes to the Parliament, not giving assurance that is being said and coming and saying it is politics, then I think everything in this country is politics. BJP comes up and gives a 1,500 scheme just before the election in Maharashtra, and that was not politics for the BJP. This is a legal demand. It is not only DMK which stands alone. It is being represented by very many parties with different ideologies working in different corners of this country. So you
Dr. Syed Hafiz, I heard about the points, specific issues that you raised as well. And before I go across to my other guest to get a response on the points you have highlighted, I have one more question for you, Dr. Hafiz, and that is about the point that you mentioned that you had representatives from other states as well. How do we read, the situation? Because you didn't have people like Akhilesh Yadav of the Samajwadi Party, Tejashwi Yadav of the RJD, Mamta Banerjee of West Bengal wasn't there, of Trinamool Congress. Interestingly, the Hindi belt leaders were not present in your meeting. Any specific reason?
This is a joint action committee of the states and the leaders who feel their states could get affected if the delimitation is going to happen. So this is a confederation or a federation of parties which are going to be affected. So this is the most simplest explanation that we can give. People of Hindi belt, they have a different problem. Here it is a confederation or a federation, a joint action committee of the states which have implemented strict population control. We have leaders from Odisha to Punjab to Andhra to Telangana to Karnataka. So this is basically a problem. This is a problem of the states which are going to get affected.
Okay.
So even
So
the
your
Congress,
idea
Congress
was
is
essentially
all India
to
party.
bring together the states that you feel are going to get adversely impacted if the delimitation exercise happens. Okay. Fair enough. Let me go across to Manish Barrier as well. Manish Barrier, how will you like to respond to the points that have been raised? Do you think DMK, with this particular meeting in Chennai today, has ensured that it is not seen as a lone ranger as far as this delimitation issue and the possible impact on the representation in Parliament is concerned?
So good evening to you and good evening to all my co-panelists and the viewers. If you remember, just a year and a half back, Mr. KCR also made similar moves and he tried to emerge as on some issue as a national leader. Look at what has happened to him. It is purely election. TASMAC asked Dr. Hafiz, what has happened to it, and ask him questions based on that. So in order to divert attention from the failure of this DMK government, it has not really added value to Tamil Nadu, at all. You look at the per capita income of Tamil Nadu, you look at other aspects, other parameters, you've hardly seen any change in last 4 years. So, what are they going to go and really, tell their electorate? They can't tell anything about development. They can only talk about things where some emotionally charged things. So that's why in order to divert attention, all these 3-language policy and North-South divide, there is no North-South divide, right? This is a matter which is a constitutional right of every Indian to be represented in Parliament, including people in Tamil Nadu as well as other states. There are number of urban centers like Bangalore itself, as well as Chennai. The population has gone to the roof, and the people of those cities, they need to be represented by more number of MPs. So it's about them also. It's not about one particular state, right? It's about the country, and the country needs to be governed better. For that, we need to have this delimitation. So unnecessarily, this is being talked about. In fact, he should be asked questions. Such a derogatory term he has, used for people, in North India. But and I'm not really trying to put communal angle on this. But if you look at between Hindus and between Muslims in North India, the majority of fertility rate is very high among Muslims. So is it like DMK is targeting Muslims in North India? Is it like these questions need to be asked to him?
So that's another point, that must be highlighted. Are there attempts to somehow add polarization, to polarize the people ahead of the elections? That's another aspect that has now emerged. Stay on with us, Manish Barrier. Let me go across to Dr. Sumant C. Raman as well. Dr. Sumant C. Raman, on jobs and education, they say jitni abadi utni hissedari, means benefits should be as per population. But when it comes to delimitation, then the same population formula is being opposed. How should we interpret it?
No. See, let us look at this thing in perspective. This is about the loss not of any cash or any such thing. This is about a loss of political representation. This is not just about some money being taken away. This is about political representation. All that the southern states are saying is, over the last so many years, we have followed the population control program. We have brought down fertility rates. We have improved our education and healthcare indices. And therefore, we cannot be punished by being relatively disenfranchised. Now, there is a very simple solution to this. You need to increase representation. Please do so, but keep the proportion constant. So, for instance, Tamil Nadu has 39 MPs in 543 in the Lok Sabha. So, why not we continue to, that comes to around 7.5 or 7.4%. So, whatever be the composition of the new Lok Sabha, the percentage of Tamil Nadu will remain at that. The percentage of Karnataka will remain the same. Nobody has a problem with that. Why is it that the government cannot commit and say that, yes, Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah said pro rata basis it will be done. But what does pro rata basis mean? It means proportionate. Proportionate to what? He did not say that. So the whole idea is population alone as a parameter will not be fair And that is why you see, and again this argument that because Tamil Nadu Chief Minister wants to create something, everybody came. That is not valid. The same Mr. Stalin wrote to various state chief ministers about imposition of NEET, calling for an abolition. What was the response? There was hardly any response from any of the other states. The fact that all the southern states except Andhra have responded. Odisha, Naveen Babu actually spoke at the event through a video call. And the Punjab Chief Minister was there. So this is an emotive issue. This is an issue which has resonance. Yes, I agree it's not going to happen within the next 1 year or so because the census may need to be taken. But that does not detract from the fact that this is an issue on which there is a lot of unity. There are problems between the southern states on 100 issues. Kaveri issue is there, Mullaperiyar issue is there. There are so many other concerns between the states. Meghadattu issue is there between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. But on delimitation, there is a unanimous viewpoint among all the southern states.
Okay. You're saying there is unanimous viewpoint among the southern states, and we saw some interesting faces in this meeting today, Kamruzaman Chaudhary. But, some other important faces who also are crucial as far as the INDIA bloc is concerned, they were missing. So I want to ask you, is the India bloc, the INDIA bloc, divided on this issue? Is it about South versus North? Is it about the country versus the Hindi belt?
No, Heena, I believe you know the history of this delimitation in India. Can you please correct the echo, please? It's a very bad echo coming up.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me take you to the 42nd amendment that happened during the emergency days, when the 42nd amendment was brought about and all delimitation exercise was freezed till the 2001 census. But then when Bajpayee's government was there, he brought in the 84th amendment to freeze all delimitation till 2026. And what was the reason? The reason that we are debating in 2025 was the same debate that we had in 1975. And what was that? The differences in family planning that is being executed by different states is not a question of the north and the south. Some states have achieved better development indicators and some states have lagged very much behind the development indicators. That was the reason that Vajpayee ji from the Bharatiya Janata Party even advocated and brought in the 84th amendment to freeze all types of delimitation till 2026. But when we debate on 2025, let us remember whether those conditions on which the delimitation was frozen after the three delimitation exercises of 1951, 61 and 71. What happened after that? No. We had failed tremendously. It's not a question of belittling the North Indian brothers and sisters. It's the question of the successive governments having failed to execute the family planning methods. Development indicators on various other fronts have been lacking behind. Now what my dear brothers from the South India, they have been claiming is that why punish us for giving us such good development indicators? It's not a rocket science to link up the population, delimitation based on population along with some development indicators so that there is equitable distribution among the people of the country along with development as well as population control. That's what they are demanding. Now to your main question, why were the India alliance partners not there in today's meeting? Let me apprise you, Mamata Banerjee has gone to UK for a lecture at the Oxford University.
Has she?
You know, Akhilesh Yadav and Tejasvi Yadav, they have been engaged out there in their own states with the protest programs. And this program, the delimitation against the Bharatiya Janata Party's objective, basically, is a nationwide mood and will be objected and will be protested against. One of the most important thing, Heena, you must know, the Delimitation Commission Act, any orders of this commission will not be challenged and cannot be challenged in any court of law. That's a very big thing, and you know how Modi government has captured all the institutions of the country. So there our fear lies. That the intention of the Bharatiya Janata Party government is not an honest
Anurag
one.
Naidu, there is a fear because the exercise has not even started, but there is a fear. So what we are seeing right now, how do you interpret that? Because I was just looking at, some of the statements that have been made. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, in fact, on 26 February 2025 had said, after delimitation, not a single seat of any of these southern states will be reduced. He said, I want to address the southern citizens that Prime Minister Modi has ensured that no seats are cut and whatever seats are increased, southern states get their fair share. This statement, the clarity, some kind of guarantee that DMK is seeking was given by no less than Home Minister Amit Shah, in February this year only. Then we just heard what Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary had to say, that there is some fear. So how will you like to respond and address this fear which is leading to these kind of statements and the meetings and the resolution that we saw today?
Absolutely. Heena, I think you're right. I was going to come to that point. There is a fear. And the fear is that the Home Minister Amit Shah will puncture the narrative that the India bloc, the newfound love under the leadership of Mr. Stalin, the newfound love of BRS and the Congress, that will be busted because everything that is happening is out of parliament. And what Amit Shah also responded is out of parliament. Now, if there is enough clarity that is driven by Mr. Amit Shah, then the narrative is gone. Then what do you do till 2026? You need to build a campaign till 2026 in Tamil Nadu, and you have reasons to do that. I mean, that is the line that you have chosen to take. And that is exactly why the location of the meeting is Chennai and not Bangalore or Hyderabad. That is something DMK spokesperson need to address because these are the people who are coming to campaign. It is in a way campaign for DMK. Let's look at it that way. Now, the demand of increase in the seats cannot be basis on reward. That means 1977 we started a program and then we had a population control. So reward us. Tomorrow there might be a need to increase the population. Like Mr. Naidu has made a statement recently that we need to increase, our birthing. You need to increase the population. We may diminish. We have problems like Japan. Now they're reeling with population decrease. Now we may have to increase now on. So 20-25 years down the line, my children cannot say that we have increased population. We have all given birth to 3 or 4 children. That's why we should be rewarded with more seats.
Right.
No, it is not reward or counter reward. It has to be done like Suman mentioned. I really, I appreciate a balanced narrative where you offer a solution. Let that come. Don't be hypothetical. Everything is in air. Let the process start. Have quality debates in Parliament. Put in a new formula. When Mr. Amit Shah said proportionate, that means that all the states will be taken in inclusivity, all the states will be considered. And what makes you think that the process will not be fair and inclusive? Let the process begin. When
That's
you make
the
a
point.
statement that
Let
it will not be fair and
process
inclusive, you are trying to peddle a narrative.
Okay, Dr. Hafiz wants to respond, then Kamruzaman Chaudhary. Yes.
Everyone who's talking in support of the BJP are their own interpretations. You said, yeah, I appreciate Amit Shah's statement. Why is it so difficult to spend 2 minutes in the Parliament for the Home Minister
But
to
he's the Home Minister of this country. If he has
It
said
will come
something,
and it has to come.
No. That is not how
Just
it works.
because you have an election in Tamil Nadu, you
I will
cannot
tell you, the
listen to
Prime Minister
Parliament.
comes
Come
and
on.
says about
It will
Mangal
come
Sutra,
and it has to
Ek
come.
Mangal Sutra, Do Mangal
You are
Sutra,
also
Ek bind,
confused.
two bind.
The
So
people
all
who
this
are
will not go. We
demanding,
want a
the
legal
people who are
guarantee.
demanding
I think we should stop.
delimitation,
This
there are
is
people
hinting
from
at
India.
Okay, one at a time. Okay, one at a time. One at a time, please. Gentlemen, one at a time. Anurag, 1 second. Dr. Hafiz, go ahead.
When we put logical questions, they get rattled. They don't want to listen. This is exactly the problem of the BJP. You said, I appreciate your word. I know where he spoke. He spoke in Coimbatore, in my own state. Is it so difficult for the Home Minister to talk the same thing in the Parliament? Matter ends. Come and say this. There is going to be, as Sumant Raman said, 7.2% members of Parliament will be from Tamil Nadu. If it is 1,000, 2,000, doesn't matter. The 7.2% will be your guarantee as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned.
Anurag wants to respond to the point that you're making. 10 seconds, Anurag, and then Kamruzaman Chaudhary.
Not more than 10 seconds. How is it fair for a Home Minister to clarify now in the Parliament when the committee is not formed, when the census is not taken, when the formula is not allowed? Formula is not derived by the Home Minister. Formula is
Isn't that
demanded by
a
the
fair
Commission.
point, Dr. Sumansi Raman? When the process has not even started, I mean, why should anybody just, randomly speak about it in the Parliament? The process needs to begin, isn't it? Isn't it a fair point, Dr. Sumansi Raman?
Then why did he What? No. But why did he make a statement saying it will be on pro rata basis without saying what the basis of the pro rata distribution would be? Would it be population? Would it be something else? He said, don't, I'm assuring everyone that it will be done on pro rata basis. Which is neither here nor there, because pro rata on the basis of what?
wants to respond.
Pro rata
Yes.
only means in proportion to.
Okay. Manish Barrier wants to respond.
In fact, pro rata is a very fair word that he has used. Pro rata would obviously be on the basis of the current structure that has been done. And I think we are jumping the gun, jumping the ship, because that discussion itself has not come, because the census data has to come. And we also need to look at all those perceived threats which are being talked. Nothing of that sort is there. So everything is on imagined setup. And I think it looks very clear that it is more of a as Mr. Naidu was also saying, that it's more like an election campaign that has started, and it has to start on some basis, so it has started on this.
Okay.
Nothing more than that.
Kamruzaman Chaudhary, yes.
Yeah, basically, Heena, this entire delimitation exercise should have been non-political. But you know what Bharatiya Janata Party does? It makes every issue political in this country. Let me cite you the example of the delimitation that was conducted in Assam in 1st of January 2023 when it started. What happened was that the Election Commission was just redrawing the boundaries of the constituencies of Assam based on the new population demography. On 31st of December night, 12 o'clock, the entire Assam cabinet was flown down to Delhi, held an emergency cabinet meeting, redraw the boundaries of the districts of Assam state, and passed a cabinet decision. And within 2 hours, the Chief Secretary of Assam issued a notification deleting some districts, adding some new districts, so that from tomorrow when the delimitation starts, the boundaries will be regrouped according to their political dynamic.
Are you trying to suggest,
Kamruzaman
Chaudhary, same thing is going to happen when we are supposed to see the delimitation exercise? Is it not then fear-mongering? Because isn't it, something that you are thinking perhaps the government is going to do? Aren't you then indulging in fear-mongering, sir?
We have got examples of Assam.
Anurag Naidu wants to respond.
Heena, there is a common overlap between what Suman said and what Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary is telling. Yes, to rest the fear mongering, to rest this destabilization of the emotions, Amit Shah ji has to make a statement that bhaiya kuch galat nahi hoga, whatever will happen with due consideration, and kisi ke sath bhedbhav nahi kiya jayega. That is, you have to understand the emotion. Now, if you don't want to understand the emotion, that's your choice, because you want to pick that up and flare the emotions of the people, flare the sentiments of the people. That is the wrong thing to do. Even before anything, starting off, I don't think it is fair for anyone in public life to politicize such issues.
Okay, I want to give the last word to Dr. Sumansi Raman, and here I want to once again touch upon the issue of how this particular meeting that we saw in Chennai today also has indication of cracks in the opposition, because Dr. Sumansi Raman, it's Hindi versus Tamil, something that Samajwadi Party and RJD cannot really support. So do you think it is also exposing perhaps cracks in the INDIA bloc in the opposition? What Stalin tried to do today, what could be the repercussions? 30 seconds, closing comments.
Not at all. I mean, how can you expect Akhilesh Yadav and Tejasvi to turn up for such a meeting? Their states stand to gain hugely from delimitation in its present format. Why would they go and come and support this? Their people in their states will be furious with them if they did that. So this is logical. States that stand to lose will have to come together. That is the bottom line. I mean, I find this whole argument, this is not some India alliance initiative. This is an initiative of all the affected states.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, I did not know that BJD was part of the India alliance. I did not know Akali Dal was part of the India alliance. Yet there they are. They were there here in Chennai. Akali Dal was represented. BJD was represented. So, therefore, this is not an India alliance grouping.
Okay.
This is a grouping of states that will be affected by delimitation in its present form, and I think the representation was more than adequate. It was sad that Jagan did not send anybody, though he wrote a letter to the Prime Minister against delimitation in its present form. Andhra was pretty much not represented. And Mr. Naidu obviously feels that the benefits of office outweigh the need to stand up for the people of his state.
Right.
But other than that, I think almost everybody who's affected was there.
Okay, interesting. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us here on this debate. So viewers, you heard the views, and it indicates clearly one thing, that this delimitation exercise is going to witness endless political battles. They've already started even before the exercise, the census exercise could begin. And we'll, of course, be tracking this closely ahead as well. For now, slipping into a very, very short break. Stay with us.